So you did the thing. You hit the goal, you got the promotion, you built the business. Maybe you moved into the house, got the title, hit the income number you wanted to use to write on your sticky notes and put on your mirror. And then one morning, you woke up and it was quiet. Not the good kind of quiet, not the peaceful. I finally made it quiet. The other kind. The kind that makes you feel a little hollow. A little like, is this it? If you've been there, or if you're there right now, I need you to I need you to know something. You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. You're not being dramatic. You are being called. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the Purpose Over Paycheck, the podcast for the person who knows there's more to life than just climbing a ladder. I'm your host, Coach Troy, Master Coach, Manifestation Mentor, and the guy who's been in the quiet room wondering why the success didn't feel the way I thought it would. If you're new here, welcome to the family. If you've been rocking with me, you already know what time it is. We go deep on this show. We talk about identity, alignment, purpose, manifestation. Not the fluffy stuff, the real stuff, the stuff that changes how you move. Today's episode is called The Moment Success Stops Being Enough. And I've been waiting to record this one because I think this is one of the most misunderstood moments a person can go through, and nobody talks about it honestly. So, let's get into it. Let me take you back. There was a moment in my life I had checked almost every box that I thought mattered. I had a career in education that people respected. I was building my coaching practice. I had a beautiful life with my husband Cody. On paper, I was winning. And one day, I was sitting in my car in a parking lot. I remember this so clearly, and I just sat there. Couldn't make myself get out. Not because anything was wrong, because nothing was wrong, and it still felt like something was missing. That's a hard thing to admit when your life looks good from the outside. You feel like you don't have the right to feel empty. You feel like you should be grateful. You are grateful. That's the part people don't get. It's not about gratitude. Gratitude and fulfillment are not the same thing. I had built something, but I hadn't asked myself the deeper question. Built it for what? That parking lot moment was the beginning of the biggest shift in my life because I finally stopped trying to feel better by achieving more and started asking what I actually wanted my life to mean. That's the moment I want to talk about today. The moment success stopped being enough because it's not a failure, it's not a crisis, it's a calling. And if you've hit that wall, I want you to understand what's actually happening inside of you. So let's talk about what I call the emotional plateau. We all know what a plateau is physically, right? You've been working out, eating right, losing weight, and then one day the scale just stops moving. You're doing all the same things, but the results have flatlined. The emotional plateau works the same way, except instead of weight, it's satisfaction. You've been doing all the right things, achieving, growing, producing, and then one day the results still show up. The title, the money, the recognition, but the satisfaction has flatlined. You still get the wins, they just don't hit the same. And here's the science behind why that happens, or at least the Coach Troy version of it. There's a concept called a hedonic adaptation. It basically means that the humans are wired to return to a baseline level of happiness no matter what happens to them, good or bad. You get the raise, you're excited, and then 3 months later, you're used to it. You buy the car, it feels amazing. Then 6 months later, it's just your car. Our nervous systems are designed to normalize, which is actually a survival mechanism. If we stay high on every good thing forever, we'd never stay motivated to keep growing. But here's the problem. Most people respond to the plateau by chasing the next achievement, getting a bigger raise, getting a better title, getting more followers. And for a while, that works. But over time, the hit gets smaller. The plateau comes faster. And eventually, no external achievement gives you the high you're looking for. That's not a problem with you. That's a problem with the strategy. Because success, external, achievement based success, operates on diminishing returns. But purpose? Purpose deepens over time. It doesn't plateau, it evolves. And that's the shift we're here to talk about. So I want to go a level deeper on why success stops satisfying because I think most people have the wrong diagnosis. They think, I'm not grateful enough. I need to count my blessings more. I need to stop being greedy. I need to be content. And I want to be real with you. That's not the answer. Gratitude is beautiful and necessary, but gratitude doesn't fill the hole that misalignment creates. Here's what I actually think is happening when success stops feeling fulfilling. Number one, you've been achieving someone else's definition of success. Think about it. When did you decide what success looked like? How much of that definition came from your parents, your culture, your industry, the people you were trying to impress, social media, a younger version of you who thought having X would make them feel worthy? A lot of us spend years, sometimes decades, chasing a version of success that wasn't ours to begin with. And when we get there, it doesn't feel like home because it was never your home. It was someone else's definition or designation. Number two, success without meaning is just busyness with better packaging. You can be incredibly productive and still feel empty. You could be crushing goals and still wondering what's it all for. The activity and the output aren't the problem. It's the absence of why underneath them. When your work connects to something deeper, a value, a calling, an impact you're trying to make, the effort means something. When it doesn't, even your wins feel weightless. Number three, and this is the one that hit me hardest. You've outgrown the version of success you were running toward. Growth is real. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. And if you're still chasing a 5-year-old goal with a current day soul, of course it doesn't fit. You're trying to wear clothes from 3 sizes ago. The hollow feeling isn't telling you that you failed. It's telling you that you've grown, and growth requires an upgrade, not just in your achievements, but in your meaning. That upgrade, that's purpose. Let me draw a clear line between success and purpose, because I think people use these words interchangeably, and they're not the same thing. Success is external, it's measurable. It's the title, the income, the number of followers, the degree on the wall, the business milestone. Success is something the world can see and validate. And that validation, it feels good. It's real. I'm not here to dismiss it. But success answers the question, what have I achieved? Purpose is internal. It's directional. It's the reason you get up before your alarm. It's the thing that makes effort feel meaningful rather than exhausting. It's the feeling of being aligned, of doing something that matters in a way only you can do it. Purpose answers a different question. Why does any of this matter? And here's the big idea I want you to walk away with today. Success is destination. Purpose is direction. Destination runs out. You get there, and then what? But a direction keeps generating the next move. It keeps you growing. It keeps you alive in your work and your life. Success says, I made it. Purpose says, I'm on the right path. And the person who hits the emotional plateau, they've made it. They've absolutely made it. They just haven't asked, but is this the right path? That's the question purpose answers. So, how do you know when you're being called towards something deeper? How do you know the difference between the emotional plateau and just a bad week? Here are the signs I've seen in myself and in the clients I've coached. Sign number one: you're successful by every measurable standard, and you feel guilty for not feeling happier. If you catch yourself thinking, I shouldn't feel this way, I have so much, that guilt is actually a clue. It means you know something doesn't match. Your internal experience and your external reality are misaligned. That misalignment is the message. Sign number two: the things that used to excite you have gone flat. The new client used to feel exhilarating. Now it feels like another task. The recognition used to feel amazing. Now it's just expected. When the things you worked hard for stop generating energy, your soul is telling you that this particular version of success has served its purpose. Sign number three: you find yourself daydreaming about a different kind of life, not a more successful one, a more meaningful one. You're not daydreaming about a bigger house or a higher salary. You're daydreaming more about time, more freedom, different work, a different impact, more of yourself in what you do. That's not escapism. That's your deeper self trying to speak. Sign number four: you ask yourself, or you start asking, but why, a lot more. Why am I working this hard? Why does this matter? Why am I doing this if it doesn't light me up? That why is not depression or ingratitude. It is your inner compassion, your inner compass, recalibrating. Listen to it. And sign number five: this one is subtle but powerful. You feel more inspired watching other people live in alignment than you do achieving your own goal. When someone else's story of quitting the safe job to build something more meaningful hits you in your chest, that feeling is information. It's your soul saying, that's what I want, not their life, their alignment. If you're seeing yourself in any of these signs, I want you to know this is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough that hasn't happened yet. So here's what I want to leave with you. My personal development conversations framed this moment. The hollow feeling after success as a problem to fix. And so people try to fix it by setting bigger goals, practicing more gratitude, working harder, or numbing it with busyness. I want to reframe this moment completely. This feeling, the quiet after the achievement, the emptiness under the success, the restlessness that doesn't go away. This is not a problem. This is an invitation. You have officially grown past the level of success that was your first assignment. And life, your soul, God, the universe, whatever language works for you, is now extending a new assignment, a deeper one that isn't just about what you can achieve, but about who you're becoming and what difference you're here to make. Purpose is not a replacement for ambition. Let me be clear about that, because I think some people hear purpose and think it means slowing down, doing less, settling. No. Purpose is fuel. It's the upgrade. It's what ambition becomes when it matures. The person who's running on purpose doesn't grind until they're empty. They move from a place of meaning, and that changes everything. It changes how you show up. It changes what you attract. It changes how you feel on the other side of the win. Because when you win in alignment with your purpose, it doesn't feel hollow, it feels like confirmation. That's the next level. Not a bigger achievement, a deeper reasoning. So before I let you go, I want to give you something practical to take into your week. I want you to sit with one question, just one, and I want you to actually write the answer down. Just don't think it, write it. The question is, if everything I've built so far was the foundation, what am I supposed to build on top of it? Let me repeat that question again. If everything I've built so far was the foundation, what am I supposed to build on top of it? Not the next logical step in your career, not the thing that looks good on LinkedIn. What is the thing that when you imagine doing it, makes you feel both terrified and completely alive? That's the direction of your purpose. Start there. Also, if you want to go deeper, if this episode hit you somewhere real and you're ready to stop letting the plateau win, my door is open. Come work with me, whether that's a one-on-one session, one of my group coaching programs, or just send me a DM to say, Coach Troy, I felt this episode. I want to hear from you, honestly. I want you to know that you didn't get this far just to feel empty at the finish line. You got here so you could figure out what comes next. Because, friend, purpose is the next level, and you are ready for it. Before I close, please make sure you're following this podcast. Share this podcast out with someone who needs to hear this message today, because by doing that, you're helping support others achieve their dreams or open up to self-discovery of what's been holding them back and ready to move on to the next level. So share this out. Make sure you leave a rating. Leave me some stars there, 5 preferably. Leave a comment to help out the algorithms so that we can attract more listeners on this podcast, because someone, in all honesty, someone needs to hear this message today. All right, my friend, I am your master coach, Troy. This is Purpose Over Paycheck Podcast, and I will see you in the next one.